For the first question, I chose to look at their communication. Sumatran tigers primarily use scent marking to define their territory, vocalizations to signal their presence and intentions, and subtle body language to convey their mood, all contributing to interactions that establish social status in regards to boundaries. Although tigers are mostly solitary animals, interactions between individuals do happen, and communication is still incredibly important in relation to setting boundaries and conveying clear signals. Vegetation density, terrain type, prey species distribution, climate conditions, and the presence of competition are all factors that both impact how effectively signals can be used by tigers to communicate in their environment and stand to be impacted if environmental conditions induced by humans continue to change. Tigers have long-standing adaptations best suited to prefer their specific habitat, like night vision and specific auditory frequency. When anthropogenic factors change these environmental conditions, tigers are left at a major disadvantage. The Sumatran tiger has become a poster child for the conservation of endangered species when it comes to deforestation, as that is the species' major threat to life in the Indonesian island Sumatra, its native habitat. As the region develops, many people engage in logging efforts that dwindle animal populations. Specifically, they shrink the Sumatran tiger habitat and cause habitat fragmentation, which interferes with migration and breeding patterns as these tigers prefer lush forests as their primary habitat. Less habitat and prey availability has also led to more and more conflicts with livestock and farmers, as Sumatran tigers have had to now spread out to find food and space. These conflict events have also led to the hostile killing of these tigers even in their protected habitats as tensions increase. Some islanders also believe the tigers to be sacred and will use them for rituals. As their population numbers dwindle, the lack of space and resources in their habitat make it virtually impossible for the species to grow and overcome its endangered status. Unfortunately, Sumatran tigers have a grim future if current anthropogenic impacts continue to worsen because their possible adaptations are either limited by their diverse needs as a species or are seen as a nuisance. As discussed, they prefer lush, uninterrupted forests as their primary habitat, and they have a minimum space requirement to flourish. But forest development causes habitat fragmentation in patches instead of vast forests available to them. Being solitary animals also means individual tigers have certain occupied areas, and this fragmentation can cause territorial disputes as tigers will have to encroach on certain boundaries to survive. The amount of food they need to consume per day, combined with the limited prey availability in their habitats, make it difficult to avoid farmer and livestock conflicts, as tigers will need to go into these spaces just to survive. These factors present a large multitude of problems for the survival of this species. The only hope seems to be implementing protected areas in Indonesia with plenty of prey available to ideally allow this species to grow without anthropogenic threats lingering.